speaker is Felix Tseng, and his reply to my question is, he would say to give up the bad existing habit is easier. What he's doing is read as much information as possible about the bad habit, so it will help him to get rid of it. So your speech also based on no manual, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, and his speech title is Work from Home and Study from Home. Let's welcome Felix.
This year, the coronavirus pandemic has changed our life in every way possible. And one of the important changes, for everyone is like, for workers, you are asked to work from home. And for students, you are required to study from home. And I believe many of you have this experience. So I would like to make a poll by a show of hands. So when you are asked to study from home or work from home, what comes to your mind? So do you feel like I lose a chance to hang out with my buddies at work or at school? Anyone?
I lost the chance to steal coffee from the company.
That's the second one. So some people might think, oh, I lose a chance to have a free afternoon or a free lunch provided by my boss. Anyone? Okay,
I'm the only one.
Yeah, there are also cases that people are worried about. They have to work overtime because now there's no clear off hours. So you have to work constantly. So I know everyone has their own concerns when it comes to work from home, study from home. But can you imagine? There are some people who suffer more, who get even more frustrated because they have to do everything online. So can you imagine that? So there are some people who do not have the devices. There's like a cell phone, the pads to log onto the internet. And if they do have the devices, probably they do not have the internet connection. They don't have the connection, the quality of connection is bad, and they don't have unlimited data access. So they probably cannot have what we call the real-time communication. And even if they have the devices and they have the internet connections, probably don't know how to set up the environment. They have to download the software, they have to set up environment, they probably have to do all the prerequisite work. So they lose a chance, they do not have a chance, have the same opportunity to work and to study, just as those who have those resources. So this is what we call the digital equality. The issue is related to digital equality. As you can see, it's one kind of equality. It's an equality in our digital life. So probably you may ask, what's matter to me? What's important to me? So I believe most of us are born in Taiwan. We are Taiwanese, and we make up the majority of the population in Taiwan. So probably we don't care so much about the resources because we are the majority. So the government, the policymakers, they have to focus on our needs because they need to be voted, they need the population, they need to be popular. So they'll try to please us. But can you imagine that you probably one day work overseas, or you probably study overseas? So you are likely to become the minority of that country. So things are different. So you can see the governments, the people, and the policymakers, they are less likely to pay attention to what you need. So what I say is we are trying to promote the digital equality not only for others, but also for ourselves. For one day, probably we'll need that. So how can we make a digital equality available to everyone? So first one, you can donate your devices that you no longer use. Because I know lots of people change their cell phone one year. That's rich people. Okay, 1 year, after 1 year or 2 years, probably can donate to the charity for those who focus on these issues. And second, you can provide your if you have unlimited data access, you can provide to your classmates if he or she didn't have. And you can also provide your help to set up the environment. So that can close the gap between the digital gap. And the third one is like in the long-term matter. So you can ask your legislators, because they need votes. You can ask your policymakers to devise a policy that can address these issues. And I also have one suggestion. If you are in charge of a meeting, if you are going to hold a meeting, possibly you can provide the materials as detailed as possible in advance. And you can also provide some collaborative document, like a Google Docs. You can have some kind of interaction, but you don't need like a real time. Because I know many of you, if you ever join an online real-time communication, probably no one wants to discuss. So I don't think real-time is really that important in terms of like information exchange. So all in all, digital in this year, to 2020, we have pandemic, we have lost lots of things. We've lost lots of travel time, we've lost some our friends, and we lost a lot. But now we can see we have some needs, and we still have opportunity to help them. So I believe the governments and some companies and our individuals can work together to make those equality happen and make this world a better place. So that's my message. Thank you.